Party time. I'm going to check that I press post properly on Facebook. I'll be back.
Sure.
Oh, you can actually see what I'm doing. Look, there it is. Yes, here it is. We are live. Posted. It's there. Woo! Hey, I'm going to be the first one to buy it. Ready? Is that what you do? I've never done a book launch before, so I'm just going to be the first one to just get on there and buy it. Hey, Badge, how you doing? Thanks for coming. I'm an author. I'm going to be the first one to buy my own book. Is that weird? I've forgotten how to do it. Okay. Oh, it's hiding my screen. It's hiding the buy thing. All right, gotta hide your beautiful face. Buy now with one click. Here we go. Here we go. Don't you love it when technology works?
It always works perfectly, yes! Every time.
Especially when you're live on a call. Woo! There we go.
Hey! Hi, Renee.
Hi. Who is it? Hold on. I'm going to get my screen up properly again so I can see who I'm talking to. How do you do that? Hey, is that Paula? Hi.
That's me. Can't see me, bro. Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you? Welcome.
Good, thanks. The light's not very good. All right,
guys. Well, thank you so much for coming along to my party. I feel like I need a party hat. My kids only have like those animal hats with kind of like an elephant and a rhino and a few other things, and I wasn't quite sure if kind of fit the brand, you know. Cool. So I've just posted in the Facebook event the link to go and purchase on Amazon. And so the idea is that we get in there, we kind of, once you've bought the book, hop on and just say, I'm in, just so I know that you've got the book, and we can get the buzz going and the party going and keep the energy flowing. And then if you want to be in the running for prizes, because I've got a discovery session and 3 signed copies of my book and also 10 copies of my Share Your Passion journal. If you want to be in the running for that, then you share the book on your Facebook page and put a review on Amazon, and then just send me an email just so I know that you've done it, because otherwise I might miss it because there's a lot going on. Cool. And then I'll draw all the prizes because everything closes at 8 o'clock tonight. Launch will end at 8 o'clock tonight, and then the price of the book goes up. And then I'll cut off the competition for the prizes, and I'll announce everything probably tomorrow. So I have a chance to, I might need to come down. I don't know if I can maintain this energy all day long. It's a lot. You're muted, Stevie.
Do you want to just run through those competition rules again? Because there were quite a few. So you've got to buy the book, post in the Facebook page, leave a review on Amazon?
That's it, yep. Okay. So 3 things, yeah. Buy the book, share the book, and post a review. Is that too complicated?
Awesome.
I've never done
it. No. I just wanted to make sure that, it was all clear.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Stevie, for the question. Awesome.
No worries.
All right, so, hey, Lisa! Hi. I hope you're feeling better today.
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
Much better.
Hey, so glad to hear it. I just read your post saying how ill you were yesterday.
Yeah, it happens every now and then.
Yeah. Especially when your immune system's kind of lowered during like 9th month of pregnancy.
Yep.
Okay, guys, I just thought I'd do a tiny little speech. I was kind of pushed into this. I'm feeling a bit like, I wasn't planning this and it's last minute, but hey, I'll just do a quick little thing. It's not kind of designed to be a great big long webinar style thing, but I just kind of wanted to share a bit of what this book is about for me and why I've written it, and what I hope it's going to achieve. And then I just want to open the floor for Q&A. Whoever wants to ask some questions about sharing their passion, creating their courses, all that sort of stuff, then we'll go for that next. So are the truck noises really loud going past, by the way? I've got construction going on across the road. Is that all good? Not too bad? All good? Okay, cool. Awesome. See how I go with the technology. Yay me. Okay, so we are now live on Amazon. Woo! Yay. So exciting. It's been a few months in the making, and writing a book, and I know some of you who are on the call have written a book as well and been through the same process as me. So I know that you understand that it is kind of like roller coaster ride. There are ups and downs. You feel like sometimes you're going round and round, and it's really intense. And a lot of people take years and years to write books. And for those of you who don't know, I actually wrote a book in a week. And that kind of condenses all the stuff that comes up, because when you're writing a book, all your personal issues come up, all your reasons why you can't, your fears, why you would normally procrastinate if you're going to take 3 years to write a book at home, then, all that stuff, you've got years and years to kind of slowly and gently kind of work through your issues. But when you are in a venue for a week and you have paid money to write your book in a week and you have a deadline of 6 p.m. Friday night to hand that manuscript in, then you have just got to deal with it, and you got to deal with it now. So, for me, I had stuff coming up that was unexpected, because the first part of my book is part of my personal story. I'm really, I share a lot of stuff about, what my experience was like in the corporate world, and how severely depressed I was, and then how I got out of that, and, how that's led me to sharing my passion today, and why I really believe it's so important for all of us to love what we do and do what we love, and to not stay stuck in those crappy jobs that really don't do them. So, so as I was saying, in the process, there was stuff coming up, and I did a lot of processing. I had to face a lot of stuff, from childhood issues to relationship issues with various different people, just so that I could get through and finish my book. So I won't share the personal details of that, because there are other personal people involved in that stuff. But suffice to say, it was, what is so-and-so going to think of me if I say this word? I use the word shit and the word fuck in my book. Sorry, that's me. I'm irreverent, I'm not polished. That is who I am. And I was thinking, some people are not going to like that. And so I had to just deal with, that's the way I talk. That's who I am. That's, and sometimes that's how I get my message across. And, I had to be okay with that, and had to be okay with the fact that some people aren't going to like it. And so I was processing all that stuff. What if people don't like me? And, fear of not being loved and not being enough. All that stuff comes up. And also the fear of success. What if this is huge and crazy and big? And then, we've got this whole tall poppy thing going on in Australia. And then there's, well, what if I fail? What if I put it out there? I put my message out there. I said, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. And then there's a big flop. There's all this like, So, writing a book, and imagine just like condensing all that stuff that goes on, over a few years into 7 days. Actually, we didn't write on the Monday. So we wrote Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's 4 days of writing. And I finished my first draft in 3 days. So in 3 days, I just bam, packed in, writing my whole book. So yeah, it's more than just the writing process. And Paula, I know that you've been through this, and you probably agree that writing a book is big.
It's a big thing. Sure is.
Even if it's for your business, it's big and personal. Did you want to add something, Paula?
No. Actually, it was a really huge thing for me too, to, just get everything that was up in here and put it in writing. And I went through the same stuff too. It was sort of like, oh my God, what if they don't like me? What if they don't like what I've written? What if they just, it was all this stuff coming up. And but it was, you get through it. You somehow get through it at the end of the 4 days.
Yeah, that's right. Because you've got such massive leverage being like on a retreat. You've paid the money and you're there. You've organised for someone to look after the kids, and that's huge. It's not, it doesn't happen easily. So it's big. And Paula, you're kind of one of the pioneers. You went before me on the same retreat that I did, and so you're one of the people I look up to and go, she did it. Oh, I can do it too. So thank you for being one of the pioneers of the Spirit Partners.
Oh, thank you.
And paving the way for the rest of us. So yay.
Thanks.
So that brings me to there are a lot of people to thank. So first, my husband, Ant, who seriously, when I said I was going to go write my book and I was going to go away for 7 days to Stradbroke Island, where I was going to kind of be pampered and not have to do any cooking or cleaning. And I told him how much it was going to cost. I thought he was going to go, no, and I thought I was going to have some serious negotiating to do. And he just basically went, yeah, sure. When do you want to go? I was like, oh my God. So thank you to my gorgeous, gorgeous, amazing, supportive, loving husband, Ant, who is with me every step of the way, even though half the time he has no idea what I do. I think it was actually kind of funny. When he read the book recently, as one of my proofreaders, he said, oh, now I get what you do. And he kind of, I think he kind of thought I sat on Facebook all day long. So this is kind of, it's kind of nice to have it out there. And, you know, he's always been supportive of me, whether or not he's kind of understood what I'm up to or not. So, having a supportive partner is awesome. So I love you, Ant. Thank you. And of course, my beautiful kids, Callista and Chinta, who are not in the room right now or in the house because you would be hearing them. But for me, sharing my passion is really, you know, once I became a parent, the importance of sharing my passion increased, because if I'm going to be spending time away from my loved ones, it better be for a seriously good reason. You know, I'm not going to go do a job that isn't juicing me and not loving me and I'm coming home in a shitty mood, because, you know, then what am I giving to my kids? You know, if I'm going to be spending time away from them, it's going to be something that's lifting me up and making me a better human being so I can be an awesome role model for them. So I love my beautiful kids, Callista and Chinta, and, you know, this is partly I do this for them because I want to be a role model for them, to show them, you know, what's possible. I don't want them to ever be stuck in a crappy job. You know, I want them to follow their hearts and do what they love. And so, you know, they give me more inspiration and motivation to do that. So always for my kids. Also for my clients who have been on the journey with me, you know, this book has been, you know, I've been working with clients, creating programs and courses and helping entrepreneurs to share their passion since, I think, 2002 or 2003. I should really have checked that date before I did this. But anyway, along with, let's say, 12 to 14-ish years, a few years. And so there have been some awesome clients along the way who have seriously helped me to refine my processes. And, you know, and I've loved working with so many awesome clients. And, you know, they've really, you know, there've been moments with clients where we've been sitting on grassy knolls and just, you know, great big sheets of paper and coloured markers and just like, and we're changing the world, you know. And those moments, they're the ones that, you know, I've really thrived in and loved working with those clients. And so really big thank you, in particular to Dan Fatika and to Dr. Jessie Green, who have been some of my most favourite clients to ever work with. I also want to thank my dad, who, believe it or not, when I was a teenager, gave me my first personal development books. I got a super cool dad. So thanks, Dad. That is awesome. I've loved having those books, and you kind of, you know, steered me in the right direction. And to my awesome mum, who, when I always take on more than I can handle, which, you know, has been a bit of a pattern throughout my life. She's always there to pick up the pieces when I call and go, I've done it again, Mum. I've dug myself in a hole and I'm out of balance. And she's always there to pick up the pieces when I'm melting down. So thanks, Mum. You're always there, whether it's coming around and folding a load of washing or looking after the kids or making a meal. Like, thank you. Also to my friend Nigel Will, who was my housemate at the time when I was depressed in my corporate job, and he dragged me along to my first Tony Robbins event. So you probably could say he's to blame for like this monster that has been created. But thank you, I'm grateful. My beautiful friend Carolyn Farrow, who is there for me every step of the way. She knows me better than I know myself most of the time. I love you, Carolyn, and we're working together on Share Your Passion, and watch this space because there's more of Carolyn to come. To the awesome Lady Posse, hashtag Lady Posse, you know who you are. Thank you for being supportive, for being there through my vulnerable and most scary, afraid moments, for supporting me, answering my questions. all that sort of stuff. There have been women in that group who have helped me with market research and told their stories, and some of those stories are even in the book. So thank you to #LadyPosse. And also to #Brains Trust, you know who you are too. These are my awesome clients and the people in my From Corporate World to Conscious Entrepreneurs group. Thank you for masterminding with me, for helping me to dig deeper and to refine my thoughts even more. The Spirit Cast Network. So this would not have been possible. Writing this book would seriously not have happened in the time frame that it happened without the Spirit Cast Network. And the man behind that is Dave Thompson. Dave Thompson, you are a superstar. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to write a book, and I've talked about my process of going off on a retreat to write a book, if you want to write a book, this is the way to do it. You do it in 1 week, and you do it where there are no excuses, because as I said, you've paid up, you're there, you've got a deadline, and someone else will make you a cup of tea. And as a parent, seriously, as a parent, this is kind of one of the best bits of it, really. For 7 days, I did not make a cup of tea. I did not make a meal. I did not pick up a dish or wash a dish. I didn't do any washing or hang any washing. My only job was to write my book. Someone even run the bath for me, like seriously. Seriously. I didn't even have to run my own bath. There's Dave Thompson. Where's the door handle? Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? I thought that was hilarious.
Did you?
Well, I think it was Ben Reeves that ran the bath.
I think it was Matt.
Was it, Matt?
Yeah,
that's
Matt
hilarious.
Yeah. So thanks. So that also brings me to Dave Thompson and also Matt Gardner and Benjamin Reeves. Thank you to the three of you for cooking the meals and, you know, catering to my vegan craziness.
Are you on video?
Yeah.
Hi!
Hi, this is Suze. It's Suze.
Hi,
It's Renee's
Suze.
book launch.
Hi, Renee.
She's live on Zoom.
I'm blow waving my hair. I heard Dave laughing.
And Paula T's there too.
Hey, Paula T.
Hey,
Exciting. This is so fun.
this is so cool.
So thank you. If you are going to write a book, go and do Dave's 7-day book writers retreat, because seriously, it's the bomb. And if you're a parent, it's the best way to get some you time as well. Like the bonus, sometimes it's almost like the bonus is I got a book out of this, but really it was the personal development that I experienced during that week, and the pampering, you know, just being able to like, oh, I need a break from writing this book. I'm just going to like run across the road and go for a swim in the ocean and come back. Like, you know, that's all I had to do was write my book and have a swim. Pretty awesome. So yeah, thanks again, Dave. Really.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It's a really important, fabulous, great service that you provide. Love it. And it didn't stop there. So let me just say that it's the retreat, and also Dave and his team have been responsible for doing the cover design, for getting the book layout done, for getting it live on all those platforms. Like, I don't have to think about that stuff. I don't want to be into the techie land of how do I get it on Amazon? Oh, how do I get it printed? So Dave and his team has taken care of all of that. So thank you, Dave. It has been so fabulous. And also to the Spirit Cast Network, the pioneers of the network, the authors who have gone before me, thank you so much for supporting me through every step of the process. I feel your energy and I feel your love and your support through the whole thing. So thank you. I know some of you are on the call. So thanks for being part of the fun. You're showing how it's done. Thank you. To my fellow book writers who were on the retreat with me. So Tara, my roomie, Tara Davidson, Susie Jukes, Lionel Fowler, and Dane Thomas. Thank you, guys. We had a super fun week. We managed to stay in each other's spaces for that whole time without killing each other, and I think that that's testament to how awesome you are. So, and also the great space that is created by David and team. Also, my superstar proofreaders. So, Stevie, who is on the line, and Aunt, my hubby, and also my neighbour Constance, who did like the fastest turnaround proofreading you've ever seen. And that was after Carolyn had already done some proofreading as well. So I've had some really awesome proofreaders who have helped me take this from like 95% to 99%. They have really helped me make sure that this book is of a standard that I can be proud of. So thank you so much. And to, as Dave Thompson calls them, the sneezers, and they're the people who share what's going on in launch. So that, you know, all the people out there who have shared my posts, who have liked and commented and just like shared the love and told people what's going on and helped create the buzz. Thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate you being behind me and making sure that I'm not feeling like I'm having this like one person party over here. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I truly appreciate you and I love you. Thanks. Cool. Oh, that's me. I think most of you probably know me, but for those of you who don't, that's me. I'm Renee Hasseldine. I've got 2 kids, Calista and Chinta, and my awesome husband, Ant. We live in Eltham, in Melbourne, and my background's kind of all in corporate. I was at IBM Global Services, PricewaterhouseCoopers. I dumped my job with Addison Consulting to be the vice president of an internet startup company right before. And so I've had I guess when I was in university, if you told me that was going to be my path, I'd have been like, yeah, that sounds great. But the reality was that when I was doing all that stuff, it didn't juice me and I didn't love it. So I hit rock bottom, and through the depths of my depression, I discovered who I really wanted to be and what I really wanted to do with my life. So that brings me to my big why. Like for me, we're here for a short time, not a long time, and I really just want to make sure that when I look back on my life, I can be grateful and I will feel proud and I will really know that I lived my life well. And for me, that means making a difference, and it means being in the moment and connecting. You know, it's these moments. It's like when you first look into your child's eyes when they're born. It's, you know, when I first looked into Ant's eyes and knew that he was the one. Or, you know, sitting on the grassy knoll with my client, brainstorming and having those, you know, it's those moments of connection, of feeling like, yes, this is what life really is. It's the feelings. It's not going to be like the achievements that I have through my life and I'm going to remember. It's going to be the emotions and what I felt through my life. And so, you know, whenever I'm choosing to take on a project, it's got to be in alignment with who I am and what I stand for. So, you know, for me, my big why is empowering people to love what they do and do what they love. Because there's no reason why any of you out there, if you've got the resources to get on this call, there's no reason why. So I've got a few principles for success, and I don't know, I might just, before I go into those actually, I might just kind of go a bit around and say, hi, has anyone got any questions? I'm not really great with this. All I can see on my screen at the moment is my slides and 4 faces. So I'm going to see if I can work out how to show more people. Does anyone have any questions or want to add anything or say anything at this stage? All good?
Yeah. But it's the same as ours.
Well, you're saying something, Lisa, but you're muted, I think.
No, it's awesome. Keep going.
Okay, cool, thanks. Oh, now I know I always forget to check the chat thing. I'm really terrible at following the chat while I'm doing this.
On the 27th.
All right, cool. Just be aware, if you're going to type things into chat, I probably won't see them. So it's best to just like unmute yourself and just shout out, it's party. No need to be polite. Cool. All right, so I have a few principles for success, and the first is giddy up. So it's, you know, done is better than perfect. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And you know, I know Dave, you're a big subscriber to this. It's like, you know, just get it done. Just get that book written. Let's get it done. Let's get it out there. You know, and I'm a big believer in this. You know, I've known people who have so much experience within them, so much to share with the world, that they just don't know where to start. And a lot of the time, you know, they can get kind of into that paralysis of, they're bamboozling themselves with their own brilliance, really, because there's so much they can do until they can. It's the perfect time, the perfect moment, and they can get their business or their whatever it is that they want to do. Until it's perfect, they don't put it out there. And I say no. Take the first step. Giddy up. Let's make it happen, and get moving. And then, you know what? But we're not going to just settle for that. You know, you got to evolve, and so, you know, test and tweak it. So. Yes, get it out there and then improve it. Evolve. And I have kind of this bit of a process, because I know, you know, a lot of people say, well, when you're creating something, or when you know, if you're creating a business, you're creating a course, you do these things that, people say, oh, but what if I get writing block, or,
I'll send you the link.
I like to kind of look at this. This is my infographic, and I'm very excited about infographics. That you just got to get yourself in the zone. And there are a few things that I love to do to get myself in the zone. So first I create the space. And sometimes that means moving away from my desk. I might go and sit in a cafe, or, at the moment I'm downstairs, and which brings me to use your body. So I'm actually standing up. I'd rather stand up and jump up and down and talk to you than sit down at my desk, because that for me helps my energy to flow, and then helps me to get in the zone. Also use colour. So, often, as I talked about that grassy knoll kind of experience with my clients, so, use colour textures and all that sort of stuff. I'm just like, forget the blue pen and sitting there writing or typing the thing. Using colour can really help to bring that creative process out. And sometimes, you need to soundscape it as well. I know Ant, my hubby, when he's powering away, like working on his computer, he'll have techno going on in his ears. That's not my soundscape for creativity, but I know it's his. So, find out, what's your soundtrack? What soundtrack works for you to help you get you in the zone? Use sound to help you get flowing and in the music. Flow to me is about not censoring stuff. So often it's just like, it's that brainstorming thing of just get it all out there. There are no stupid answers. There are no wrong answers. It's like get it all going and write it all down and get it all out without censoring. Just let it all kind of be in a stream of consciousness. And set yourself a time limit. Because if I said to you, I guess the book's a great example of this again. I'm going to keep coming back to it. Because if I said, you've got to hand your manuscript in at 6 o'clock on Friday night, then you're going to have it done, because that's it. That's your cutoff. You get it done. Whereas if there's no time limit to write your book, create your course, leave your job, whatever it is that you want to do that's involved in you sharing your passion, if you don't set yourself a time limit, it might never happen. Because it can just go on, and there's always going to be something else to do, and there's always going to be another excuse and another load of washing to hang out, or, the kids need to do this, or, there will always be another excuse or another reason if you haven't got yourself a time limit. So you need to prioritize something that's important to you when it comes to sharing passion. Oh my God, I love infographics. See, this is one of my infographics. I love to turn, so like the clients I work with as I was saying, have so much information and so much brilliance inside their minds, and they can, bamboozle themselves. If they wanted to talk about something that they're really passionate about, they could talk for 6 days straight without taking a breath. I'm kind of doing a bit of that, right? But there, if we can condense that and turn that, untangle all that information and chunk it and turn it into a visual representation of what their methodology is, then that will speak. That will speak 1,000 words. So I really I'm so obsessed with turning all of this into a picture. So yeah, if you can turn your thoughts into that, I think that takes you a long way to helping people understand what you're talking about. And as much as I love infographics, I also love checklists. I think that's excellent. Okay, Mickey, it's all right. I also love spreadsheets, so that's okay. I embrace the weirdo. And trust your gut.
You're not alone.
Oh, was someone saying something there?
You're not alone.
Thank
like
you. What did we call the Rose? What was that thing you said, Lisa, back when we were like?
I think you were leader of the
nerd army or something.
Leader of the nerd army.
I'm a proud leader of the nerd army. We embrace spreadsheets and checklists and infographics, baby.
Exactly.
Yes. I guess the other thing that is really important when you're sharing your passion and you're creating something and you're putting yourself out there into the world is to trust your gut instincts. I've made mistakes along the way, and I share some of those in my book. And I think what I've learnt is that if I had trusted my instincts and listened to the little thoughts in my mind and the feelings in my body just before I made some of those mistakes, then I probably could have avoided them. So, it's one thing to sort of say, yeah, giddy up, like my principle one, like giddy up, yep, let's go, let's do it, let's jump in. And also, make sure your brain's turned on and trust your instincts, trust your gut. That's you got to balance that out. Don't jump in stupidly is I guess what I'm saying. And and just do you. So people can copy what you do, but they can't copy who you are. So just get out there, be yourself. As crazy as it may be. Hey, not everyone's going to love it, but that's okay. You got to love yourself. Cool. So I guess in terms of my book, it is about sharing your passion, and it also covers my 7 stages of course creation. So what I help people do who are moving from like the corporate world into becoming a conscious entrepreneur, I help them to turn all this amazing brilliance and expertise and knowledge in their heads into a system, into a business, into something they can share with the world and leverage and make money from. Because let's face it, sharing your passion is one thing, but if you're not turning it into profits, you're still going to find a way to put food on the table. So not that the money is the be all and end all, but it needs to be, and it's okay that you make money from sharing your passion. So here are my 7 stages. Stage 1 is passion and purpose. And I should probably go back a step, because a lot of people will come to me and say, how do I create my course? What's the best platform to put it on? Should I use Kajabi or should I use ClickFunnels, or, which platform do you recommend? And I'm like, whoa, you're jumping to stage 7. Let's come back a step. So there's a reason why it's in a stage process, and it's really important to follow the stages, because what I found is clients and people who I've watched who weren't clients jump into sort of stage 6 and stage 7 without doing the foundations of the first stages. It's a whole lot of pain. Save yourself the pain, save yourself the time. You won't actually save time by jumping ahead, because you'll end up having to come back and redo stuff. So just, follow the process. I've outlined it. It's so simple. It's step by step. It's paint by numbers. Follow the process, and really you will save yourself a whole world of pain and thousands of hours of hours down a rabbit hole. So stage 1 is your passion and purpose, and that's getting super, super clear on what is your big why. What do you love? What would you get out of bed for in the morning? If money was no issue, what would you get out of bed for, and what would you do with your days? How would you spend your life? Sure, you might, just go and retire and relax on the beach, and, but seriously, after a week or 2 of that, you might get a bit bored with that, because there's stuff going on up here that you need to entertain. So, what would you do with your life if money wasn't an issue? Tune into that stuff and be really, really clear about what is your big why, what do you love, what are you passionate about, and if if you could do anything in the world, what would it be? Tune into that, and then think about who needs that. Who is your ideal client? Who would you love to work with? Who would you love to help? Who do you want to hang out with? Who is that ideal client for you? And what problems do they have, and what solutions can you provide for them? Stage 2 is the brand, and to me, the brand is like the wrapping that you put around your stage 1. It's the wrapping that you put around your passion and your purpose. It's so much more than a logo. It is not like a logo is like the tiniest little bit of your brand. Brand, if it was going to be only one thing, to me, brand is about your brand essence. What is the feeling for me? So my brand essence is passion. And hopefully you can feel it in everything that you see coming from me personally, from my videos, from my posts, from my imagery, my logo, yes, all those things. Like, passion is the essence of my brand. And so it's working out for you, what is your brand essence? Stage 3 is your package and your plan. And so that's kind of turning it's coming up with what's your product suite. So, you're going to have a free product, a low entry product, a core product, and your premium product. Stage 4 is your blueprint. And so that's sort of coming back to turning all this amazing, wonderful knowledge you have in your head, untangling those thoughts and turning it into a methodology. And ideally, then that's represented in infographics. Stage 5 then comes down to framing it. So we'll look at what are the modules that you're going to present in your programs and courses, and look at what are the outcomes for each of those modules, and what are the learning objectives for each of those modules, and also overall for the whole program, what are the outcomes and learning objectives. And then within each of those modules, what are the topics, and for those topics, what are your points, have you got research to back up any of that stuff? Have you got statistics? What case studies or stories can you share? What examples do you have? What infographics do you have? So that's looking, so in stage 5, you really want to map out step by step what is going to be covered in your program. And I love to do this in a spreadsheet. This is a really, really great way to nut out every single bit of what is going to be covered. And if you do this really, really well, when you actually get to stage 6 and building your program, it's like super fast. It's super efficient. You have done the hard work. And you'll avoid sort of going off and, I might talk about this, I might talk about that, because you've got really, really clear on, no, I'm covering this and this in this module. This is exactly what I need to do. And it's really clearly laid out and it's ready to go. So that's stage 6, building it. And then stage 7 is about the delivery. And so this is where you kind of get to looking at and exploring, well, how are you going to deliver it? Are you going to offer a live workshop? Are you going to be providing online courses? Are you going to be doing live calls, using something like Zoom like we're using today? How are you going to be delivering your program to your ideal clients? And so, as I said, this is where a lot of people start. They want to just know, well, which platform am I going to use? And there are so many platforms, and really you can't answer that until you've done all the work and worked out, well, who's your ideal client and what's going to suit and work for them. So there you go. That's my 7 stages in a nutshell. And now I'd just like to open the phone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can actually see all the beautiful faces. And I'm going to open it up and say hi. And now I can probably do my chat thing because it won't be so. I've got more room on my screen. And if this is a party, so if anyone's got questions, you're allowed to just unmute yourself and shout out and ask away. And I'm happy to answer questions and share and go for it. So Lisa, you're on my screen, so I don't know if that means you've wanted to say something or not, but you are this big, beautiful, beaming, radiant face.
Pressure questions. What was the most? You talked a little bit about the fear and what it brought up for you.
Yes.
Was that the most difficult part of the process, or was there something else that was more difficult?
If I go back to actually the writing of the book, one of the biggest bits was, for me personally, worrying about what one particular family member would think when I used the word shit and fuck.
Okay.
Because I have a chapter called Fuck Work-Life Balance.
Yep.
And not everyone's going to love it, And there's one person in particular in the family who is probably really going to not be cool about it. And then, so dealing with, I think just processing that. And I was really lucky being on the retreat, having 3 coaches there ready to just go, okay, let's process it. Let's deal with that. Let's deal with it and move on. And so that's what was really, really great about having, the supportive crew there to write the book, was just knowing that, okay, something's coming up, help. And then there was another afternoon where I didn't write for about 3 hours. And that was I was just procrastinating, and I just was not in the mood, and I just was like, I'd rather be doing something else, and I did not want to write. And I was just and part of it was just I am loving this retreat too much. I just want to hang out on the beach for the rest of my life, and I don't want to go back to my life where I've got to fold washing and make dinner and do that. That's boring, There was actually kind of a bit of that to my, boring life at home. This is cool. I love being pampered. There was a lot of that kind of coming up as well. And
yep. Hence why you're going to write 4 books a year now. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Lisa just said, I've got to write 4 books a year now. I have to.
No pressure.
Dave Thompson, who runs these retreats, guys, for those who don't know, does 4 a year. So I'm figuring I need to kind of go along 4 times a year. What do you reckon, Dave?
Something like that, Renee. That would be awesome. We will have to bring raw vegan cake onto the menu more nights of the week.
Yeah, it just have to be. Let's just up the vegan kind of. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Renee.
Yeah, go for it, Dave.
So detail, forms, checklists, infographics, process systems. You seem to lose your mind with passion about that. And I know that's not the case for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you, and I think it's not the case for everyone because they position it in their mind as perhaps being boring or something like that. What I want to know is how do you, those things, detail, the forms, the checklists, how do you think about them? What do you make them mean? How do you get so jazzed about these things?
I think for me, I'm really, those who've done NLP, I'm really auditory digital. So I process a lot of stuff in my mind. So if someone's speaking to me, I actually have to retell it in my head and then I organize it in my brain. I need to find where I'm going to file it. And so I need a system to organize it in my head. Otherwise, it's really like spaghetti in there. It's so tangled up. I'm like, it's words because I'm not auditory. Like I can't, just listening to stuff. I slept through most of the lectures at university because I just can't just sit there and listen for hours on end. Like I can't even sit and listen for 5 minutes. I got a really short attention span to just listening to information because it's, I don't know, maybe I need to retrain my brain in this way, but when information is coming in, I'm madly trying to kind of, in real time, reorganize it and process it and find how it's going to organize in my head. So it's kind of...
So that's how you do it.
That's
cool.
So for me, why I love infographics and spreadsheets and checklists is because it's already organized for me. If you present that information to me in an infographic or in a spreadsheet or in a checklist, I can look at that and as I'm listening to you, I can see exactly, oh yeah, that fits in there. Yeah, I see, okay. And it just helps my brain, maybe I'm a bit dopey, I don't know.
Right.
But it helps the way my brain works and processes to happen. And, when a client for me finally puts something into an infographic or a spreadsheet, even if I've been working with them for years, I just go, oh, I got it now. I said, yeah. They've been telling me stuff. But until I can see it organized, I'm kind of like, yeah, it sounds nice. But it's really not sinking in.
I think the big thing is, that you automatically get your own context to it. Yes. So all of a sudden it's those it's the juice, I think, Renee, is when you see that light bulb moment, because somebody else takes exactly what is a concept for one person and takes it into somebody else's, goes into their own mental model of the world, and they come up with their own context that makes perfect sense to them. And it's just that click that is the real juice of having somebody go, yes, oh my God, I get it. I get what you're talking about. It's just like it
helps to translate. And we all love to receive the information in different ways. And some people will be happy to listen to your lecture for 2 hours straight. Some people will. It's not me, but some people will. So that, the idea of making sure, I'm really passionate about, if you're going to be sharing a program, if you're going to be running a course, you need to cater for all the people who are going to be participating, because we're not the kind of people who are just going to take their money and run. We're not like, hey, let's just make $1 million on the internet, just sell. That's not the kind of people I work with, and it's not who I am. If I'm going to be providing a service to someone, I want to make sure they get the results. And so that means they need to be engaged. They need to be really getting it on a deeper level. And that requires providing ways. So, you provide videos and you provide worksheets and you provide infographics and checklists and, so you're catering for all the different ways that people work. And the thing is with a checklist, I've got 14 years of experience creating courses and programs. Can you, seriously, I could talk forever about it, but you don't have the time. You're busy. You don't have the time to listen to 14 years of experience, me talking and telling you all that stuff. You're too busy for that. You just want to get it done, right? If I give you a checklist and go do this, and this, you're like, yes, I can go tick, 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 tick. Done, right? How much more efficient is that for you as a participant? So that's why I get excited about it, because for me, when I participated in courses, that's awesome for me. And I want my clients to have that experience of going, yes, I get it when I can see it in infographic. I can see there are 7 stages to course creation and I can follow along with that. And okay, well now we're up to stage 3 and I can see how stage 3 works. You know, if you can, at every step of the way, if you've got an infographic, they can see where they're up to and they see where they're filing that information. And you have a checklist for each of those stages. It's like, yes, okay, yep, done that. They can see where they're up to. It just really, really helps to know, because a lot of the time, you know, if you're just providing information ad infinitum and you just, you know, talking, not all of that information is going to go in. And so, you know, for me, there's a fear of, did I miss something really important? While I was processing the first point that they made, did I miss point 2 and 3? And now I don't know if I've got it. And maybe I missed something really critical because I was so busy processing and thinking in here, you know? So it's just great to have that backup of checklists and infographics and, yeah. So you started me, Dave. That was
what I took from that, I'm going to summarize it in very much man speak. And what I took from that is that the detail, the forms, the checklists are a pathway to unleashing passion.
Yes. And to ensuring that you engage your audience and you get results. Because because we're about making a difference. Mm-hmm. So there's no point putting stuff out there if it's not going to land, if it's not going to get through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah? I love it. Drive it home. Upwards with the up with the checklist.
Yeah.
Thanks, Renee.
Thanks, Dave. You got me on my passion point. There's a button. Press it. Hey, I just want to say hi to Tim Stringer, who I think you're in Canada, aren't you, Tim? I don't know if you're still on the line, but hey, thanks for. I see you've sent me a message, so thank you. Thanks for being here. Woo! Let me see who else I've got here. Awesome. Cool. All right. So does anyone else have any questions? Oh, good. Well, thanks so much, guys. I'm probably going to stop here because I want to go and see what's happening in the Facebook event. And I'm probably going to, maybe I should share this and post this as well. I don't know. Crazy. Yeah, so thanks, guys, for coming along and being part of the party.
Thanks, Renee. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Renee. See you guys.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.